Hey everybody, welcome into the NJCAA network. We have our NJCAA ESPN Plus game of the week this weekend. It is Iowa Central taking on Independence, and joining us today is Coach Montalto. So Coach, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
First things first, obviously the opportunity to play on ESPN Plus. You and your squad gets a bit of a national spotlight. What does that mean to you and your guys?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great platform to get our kids a national exposure, just to promote our game, and a lot of people don't know what junior college football is all about. They see some things that maybe they've seen in the past, but we got a great thing going, with good kids in our program, a lot of kids that are, overlooked because of what the portal is now in the recruiting process. There are some high academic kids, full qualifiers, that come in, they play the game the right way and compete and are really talented. They can play at a high level. So like I say, for us to be able to put that on display and showcase that, it's an awesome opportunity for us.
And that's a great segue because the talent that you have on this roster isn't indicative of the record that you guys have. You had that tough September gauntlet where you had 4 one-score losses to some of the toughest competition across the country. So how has your team grown since then, and what are some of the expectations moving into this final stretch in November?
Yeah, we kind of knew what it was coming into the year with the schedule that we had and the competition that we play week in, week out, and the level of coaching, the level of talent that we're going to see. And it's just one of those years where, last year, through those first 5, I think we were sitting at 4-1, number 3 in the country, and we've been a top 10 team, the last 4 years to finish off the year. And right now, it's just kind of been one of those deals early on in the year where you have the ball bounce a different way, and you could be looking at the same situation. Instead, we've had to be resilient through it all. When you lose to a one score or one point game to Highland early on in a 14-13 game that came down to the wire, you're up by 2 scores with 5 minutes left against Hutch, the number 1 team in the country, and have a chance to put it away and just don't, it's part of the process. And then I think 27-7.5 with Western, who was the number 2 team in the country at the time. And then you're up 21-0 on Dodge and don't finish the game and lose by 1 there. So like I say, we've kind of been through it. But again, just kind of the process of learning how to win is really important at this level, especially when you have to turn over a roster every single year and it is a new group. So sometimes it takes a little bit longer. We came off a good win last week. So that was much needed. I think right now we're at one point last game, I think, or 2 games ago, we were out of 13 of our starters from week 1 due to some injuries. So it's just kind of been one of those years where our guys have had to battle through, and it's been a next man up mentality. So we're kind of excited about, that bye week that we had this past week, getting healthy, just kind of getting back to some basics. And again, just kind of, emphasizing the process of what it takes to win.
Yeah, and you talk about that next man up mentality. You've had 4 guys throw a touchdown pass this year. It's kind of been rotating with the injuries, but you're loaded up with talent at that quarterback position. So what are the positives from that quarterback position to be able to rotate through some of those names?
Yeah, and the big thing for us is we want to be able to develop guys in that room, and at this level, you got to try to get guys recruited. You got to try to give guys an opportunity. And if you're talented and you feel pretty comfortable with them all, you want to be able to give them all a chance. Our first game, we played 5 quarterbacks, and we were successful there. The next couple games, we rolled with 2 with Tyler and Trey. Trey tears his ACL against Hutch. Then Tyler gets rolled up pretty good and has been out for a couple weeks. So, but those other guys between Ty Purdy and Dallas Hauser, they're both really sharp kids that come in, and every one of them bring a little something different. When we had Trey Taylor in there, he was a athletic kid who can move. Had some playing experience from the year before, so he kind of brought that to the table, just some maturity. Then you have Tyler Smith, who just kind of has that it factor when he gets in the game. Reminds me of a kid that we had played against for a couple of years who was maybe Offensive National Player of the Year with Nate Glantz when he was over at Western. Very similar, just kind of has that it factor, can make people miss in space, throws the ball. I think his first game he threw for 350 or something like that and 4 touchdowns. So really good player. And then Ty Purdy's, it brings some dynamics with his feet and also, just mental toughness. And then Dallas can really rip it, those with anticipation. And so like I said, they're all different. They all can make plays. And like I said, we've got a good group. So like I said, they're all ready to go week in, week out.
Well, Coach, thanks for joining us. That's all I had for you. Any final comments to your Iowa Central family ahead of Saturday's matchup?
No, we're excited for them all to get an opportunity to watch us and get this opportunity to get this platform and be on ESPN. So, like I say, it should be a good opportunity, and hopefully, we're going to go out and play Triton football the way that we know how to.
There you go, Coach Montalto. Thanks again for joining us, and best of luck on Saturday.
Hey, appreciate it very much.